I was just about to ask ChatGPT for what it would say about me, but I think the three words are AI, impact, and innovation. The next 12 months, I think a lot of the promise that we have had about the capability around particularly generative models being able to do audio, video, will actually come to fruition. So rather than just being able to ask questions that generate images, I think that will start to be really perfected over the next 12 months, and everybody will then have the capability to create whatever they want, which I think is going to be very exciting. But well, certainly these technologies are going to disrupt how we work in many ways, and we need to be able to adapt more quickly to that changing world. So what we can do is we can use these technologies to not just understand people's roles or profiles. We can understand what skills they have, whether they're good at feedback, whether people go for you to advice, and we can start to kind of essentially understand people in a much more granular way, and then use AI to allocate or recommend people to work in a much more effective way that aligns with their values and the values of the organization. So we're going to get much more granular and flexible and fluid about how we deploy and activate our workforce. Anywhere there is a friction or a potential gain, I think there's an opportunity to apply these technologies. So the people listening to this call will know better to me the pains and opportunities they have in their industry. So imagine taking that pain and making it go away, or thinking about something that they want to do well and amplify it tenfold. So think about that world in 5 years' time, and then what opportunities will live beyond that world. So assume that over the next 5 years, we're going to highly optimize, make our organizations much more efficient, effective. What will that mean to the world? What exciting opportunities live beyond that? I think that I'm biased, of course, but I think there's something very important to have a foundational understanding of things. And everybody's an AI philosopher now on LinkedIn, which is great. It's fantastic that people are talking about these things. But my PhD gave me a deep foundational understanding of both neural networks, which is when I was trying to model the brain of bumblebees, and also complexity theory. So how hard or easy it is to solve problems. And so having that foundational knowledge has helped me understand how to best place and apply these technologies. I think without that knowledge, you tend to apply the wrong technologies to solve problems that you don't understand. So I think over the past decade, we've seen a mass misinvestment actually of these technologies. But as people are getting more savvy and smarter, we're going to start to see a much more effective use of them. The best piece of advice is to get advice. I know that there's the old adage, which is if a genie gives you 3 wishes, the first wish you should ask for is more wishes. But I think my advice is surround yourself with people, diverse thought, perspectives, expertise to help guide you on your journey. So yeah, my advice is to get as much advice as possible. I think Woody Allen said 80% of success is turning up, and so what I mean by that is that just giving people the time and their headspace and the right to turn their attention to something different, I think is the first step. I think we give people the 10% time, the 20% time in our organizations, but we really don't provide a discipline to enable people to do that. So freeing people up from mundane, repetitive tasks, giving them the license, the opportunity, and the focus on applying their creativity, I think is the first step. It's difficult to see what the world will look like beyond the next 10 years. I certainly believe that over the next 10 years, we're going to see a Cambrian explosion of innovations, of opportunities born out of these technologies, which will give people new ways of learning and contributing to humanity. I think beyond 10 years, it's difficult to say. But actually, I'm a believer that if we got the timing right, we can remove friction. We can use these technologies to remove the friction, which usually means human labor, by the way, of the creation and dissemination of goods. And if we can remove so much friction from food, healthcare, education, shelter, energy, we can bring the cost of those goods down to essentially zero. Now, imagine being born into a world where you don't have to do paid work. Now, people say to me, Daniel, what would I do if I didn't have to work? And I know lots of people who don't have to work. They're not sitting at home bored and depressed. They use their time and their assets to develop themselves and to try and contribute to humanity. I believe that we all have an innate desire to want to become better and want to help other people to become better. And I think that's the world that I want to create. I really enjoy inspiring people and helping people understand what these technologies are. But I'm really passionate about how these technologies can not only sell more stuff or to optimize our operations, but how they can unlock the creative capacity of our workforce, but also facing into the challenges associated with that. So how do you do performance management, for example, when you're not a role anymore, but you're a plethora of different skills? We're actually facing into quite a lot of organizational challenges that prevent us from operating these fluid, flexible ways, these ways we want to work. And I'm interested in engaging with the audience to try to understand how we can navigate some of those complexities.